here's a problem I never thought I'd have. In the winter, I've been wearing shirts like this, and I use clip-on microphones. This is a Comica. It hasn't got a magnetic strip on the back, so now summer's getting here, I'm going to need to move this and clip it on my shirt. But how do I do that? Because you can see the problem, or hear it, if I'm looking and doing something. I did this video a few months ago. It was just meant to be a quick 2-minute thing. Here's a problem, and here's a really cheap solution, where you can get 3 solutions for the same price, or cheaper than 1. However, there's a bit of a problem. If you watch to the end, you'll see what it is. And I had no idea. I'll give you a clue. Look at this little blue light, if you can see it. You can buy lav mags, things like that, but they're something like $25. It seems an awful lot for what it actually is. But I found a cheaper alternative. And what I've got is these things, eyeglass holders. Glasses, wires, badges, things like that. But basically what it is just literally a piece of plastic with 2 magnets on it, so it's not cold, because that goes under your shirt, so it's up against your body, or if you've got a, so it's not cold. And then you've got this, which just snaps onto there, and basically what you can do is then hold your microphone on that. Now the only problem I found with it since I've opened it is that slaps around a bit, so it could rattle and actually create more problems than it solves. But simple fix for that is a bit of insulating tape. Just makes it packs it out a little bit, makes it a little bit more, or there's a little bit more for that to grab hold of. It doesn't move at all. So hopefully this is the fix. Now these were £7 something for a pack of 3. If you see my point, there's cheaper alternatives out there. Here we have it. Simple. Just clips on there like that. I mean, you're not going to win any fashion awards, but... And I'll show you what the problem is. It's pretty strange. I thought I was onto something, because plastic, but it's this metal clip that's the problem. If I take this mic off that I'm using, and you see the blue light, as soon as I clip it on, the solution, there we go. Yeah, if you take the metal off, it's fine. So the solution is to get rid of that metal. So what we're going to do, we'll keep that bit, that's fine. We just really want these 2 magnets. So first step is to get them off of this metal. Now, they're only super glued on. The easiest way to get rid of super glue is to heat it up. But what you want to do is heat it up from the back. So I'm just going to rub this paint off, because if we heat the magnet up too much, it will lose its magnetism. So if we clean the back off, heat that, we should be able to have a pair of pliers on the magnet and then pull it off as it gets hot enough. Just wire brush that off on a wire wheel. If you've got a wire wheel, it's a lot quicker and easier, but sandpaper will do it. We're just getting the paint off. We don't need this bit, so you can do what you like, grinder, file, whatever. Now the next bit, it gets a little bit tricky, even worse so when you've got a camera in your way. But what I've got to try and do is hold that on the back there, hold the magnet and hold the bracket at the same time. Riveting viewing at this, I know, but let's get it on there. My thumb is so close. I am going to burn myself in a minute. See that coming? I think I can hear it. There we go. I can hear the glue sizzling. So if we get that out of the way, that shouldn't be hot at all. Just barely warm. So that's perfect. Now this side might be too hot to touch. It's not too bad. And my soldering iron's a little bit hotter. We should be good to go. So hold that on there. I can hear a sizzle. I'm just kind of twisting it. There we go, that's it. Right, magnet off. That's now junk, but what we've got to do is, it's the right size, we've just got to make something out of plastic. If you had a 3D printer or access to a 3D printer, this would be a no-brainer. But let's find something to make that out of. So what I basically did was, I got 4 of these angle brackets, L brackets, doubled them up like that, and screwed them onto a block. And then you need a couple of straight, flat ones, and then you just, same thing again, just screw them down to the flat bit. And what we're going to do is get a cable tie, and then we'll heat it up with the hot air gun, place it over there, and then use this to press that down, and that should give us our sort of that shape, very similar to this, because the shape of this is fine, it's just the material it's made out of. If this was plastic, these would be perfect. Right, let's get a hot air gun. Press this down as hard as you can. Ideally you'd clamp it, but there's just not enough room to show you that. Stick it in a vise and really give it some, and then it cool down for a bit. But the metal should dissipate the heat quite quickly. So hopefully you'll see in a sec. There's our shape. Now if you find your hump isn't high enough, you can stick another one of these on, stick 3 on there, and then you can create a higher hump, as I've done here. It all depends on the thickness of your clip on your actual lav mic. So the next step is fairly straightforward. Put the magnets back on the plate, because then it'll keep the distance, and we're just going to glue it back on. I would use super glue, something really strong, because you don't want this falling off and losing your mic. And also, this being a cable tie I'm using, there's like the little, I don't know what you call them, the little lines, little recesses in here that the cable tie would clip into. So if you had a smooth bit of plastic, you wouldn't have to worry about it. But I'm just using a thick super glue, so it can go in and fill them gaps. And I'll hold that down, let that go off. Don't want to hold it, sit there holding it, just stick a couple of bits of metal over it, because obviously it's magnets, it'll help hold it together. It's not as firm as a push, but it will stop it from moving. Right, now that's set, just trim it. This is up to you. I really don't care what this looks like. It's function over form, it's just to hold the mic on, so I'm just going to snip it. And then I'm just putting a little bit of a chamfer on it, I suppose. Don't want any rough edges, but that's good enough for me. I might trim that if I can be, you know. But however, that is now a working magnetic lav mic clip. Proof of the pudding. See? Weird, that bit of metal must be connecting the circuit or something. But there we go. The lav mag's going to cost you $25. Obviously in the UK you've got to get it here. So oddly specific, this one. I know it won't appeal to a lot of people, but if you want to try and do if you've got a lav mic and it hasn't got a magnetic or a bit of metal, I couldn't glue a bit of metal to mine because they sit in a charging thing and it wouldn't fit. But that's a pretty neat solution. I've been using these now for 5 months, no problem. So yeah, I'm happy. There you go. Hopefully that one helps you out. Check out my other stuff. I'll see you on the next one.